Trapped in a home that felt increasingly hostile, Tiago and his girlfriend decided to fight back with a spiritual cleansing. They expected resistance, but they weren't prepared for the sheer fury that answered them. Watch closely.
Amor, lá embaixo, eu acho bom você jogar em primeiro lugar e bastante naquele banheiro.
No banheiro?
É, que é o lugar que mais faz barulho.
Tá. Nossa, lá. Nossa.
Aí, joga bastante aí, tá?
Se tiver algum espírito aqui, eu expulso você da minha casa.
Ai, Jesus! Ai, meu Deus!
Não aceito você na minha casa, eu não
Meu
aceito.
Deus do céu! Ai!
Eu ordeno que você saia da minha casa agora.
Tiago do céu, cara!
Calma, calma.
Meu Deus!
While Tiago conducts the spiritual cleansing, a chair is violently shoved from its position as if propelled by a hidden physical force. This sudden movement suggests a poltergeist firmly entrenched in the location. The energy here is volatile, reactive, and openly hostile to their intrusion.
Passa bastante.
Foi isso?
A bola do Cauê.
Hã?
A bola do Cauê, amor. Amor.
Você tá querendo brincar com a gente, né?
Será que tudo isso pra eu não sair daqui, amor? Olha isso.
Hoje? Você voltava aqui, tá?
Tava no quarto dele.
O que você está fazendo aqui?
Ai, Jesus.
O que você está fazendo aqui?
Meu Deus do céu.
Não aceito você na minha casa.
Saia daqui.
Ah, e agora?
Eu não
Você acha que
sei.
saiu daqui? Você acha?
Eu não sei, a bola tava aí. Nada aí nesse quarto. Agora vamos terminar logo pra não esquentar aquela boneca. Tiago, eu acabei de passar aqui e a bola tava aqui.
Out of nowhere, a ball comes thudding down the stairs. Compelled by the sudden noise, Tiago ventures up into the shadows to investigate, only to find the upper floor suffocated in a dead, hollow silence. But when he turns back, his blood runs cold. The ball is already waiting for him at the bottom of the steps. That chilling impossibility, paired with a heavy wooden chair violently wrenched across the floor by unseen hands, leaves no room for doubt this house is gripped by a malicious, high-velocity poltergeist. Do you believe this place is truly cursed by something sinister, or is it just a brilliantly orchestrated hoax?
Eu expulso você da minha casa.
Ai, Jesus!
Night walks in the quiet countryside are supposed to be a source of solace, an escape from the relentless noise of the day. Robert was out for his usual midnight stroll near his home when a sudden, heavy stillness paralyzed the air. Every natural sound he had been listening to vanished completely, replaced by an overwhelming sensation of being watched. He pulled out his phone, the camera barely trembling as he started to record. What he captured in the darkness is bone-chilling.
Ollie, what are you barking at? That dog was barking hard. Man, it's a full moon tonight, yo. Full moon tonight. I don't know what the hell he's barking at. I have no idea. What the hell is he barking at? What the hell is that? What the f*** is that? What is this, hell?
Deep within the shadows, Two eyes burn with a piercing, unnatural red glow, locking onto Robert with predatory focus. They wait, unblinking, as if gauging his every movement before deciding how to strike. While this could easily be dismissed as a nocturnal animal, the intensity and positioning of that crimson gaze suggests something far more sinister. This is not a creature documented by any science. It is a manifestation, an entity lurking in the periphery of our reality. The sheer coldness in those eyes implies it is searching for an opening, waiting for the moment Robert lets his guard down to finally claim him. Are we looking at a cryptid? Solitude within one's own home is supposed to provide a sense of safety, a quiet sanctuary where we can unwind. For this man, that feeling was completely destroyed when he began to hear heavy footsteps echoing through his room, despite being entirely alone. Paralyzed by the realization that something else was there, he pulled out his phone to document the inexplicable occurrence. The footage he managed to capture is genuinely chilling, a reminder that we are never truly by ourselves. Look.
And, I come back and something is say something, I'm giving up on you. But anywhere I would have followed you. That's my kid, dude. Don't. Serious. I mean, it's nothing. I'm gonna get that back up. God.
While the lens sweeps across the wall, a heavy picture frame hanging near the window begins to violently sway from side to side. It oscillates completely on its own, propelled by a localized invisible disturbance. Skeptics claim a hidden fishing line could easily replicate this swinging motion, but the recording moves in close to show the window is locked tightly and nothing is attached to the frame. The object is being physically manipulated by an intrusive force sharing the narrow space. This deliberate kinetic manifestation confirms that whatever was pacing around the room possesses the strength to interact directly with his environment. Is this definitive proof of a haunting, or is a hoax?
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
If you love the thrill of the unknown, subscribe for more spine-chilling content just like this. There's more to see, so let's get back to the clips. Silence in a family home is typically a comfort, a sign that the day's chaos has finally subsided. For one mother, that silence was shattered by the rhythmic, heavy sound of footsteps echoing through the dark hallways at 2 in the morning. Terrified that her young daughter was out of bed, she scrambled to check the security feed linked to the nursery. What she witnessed through the camera's night vision lens was not a child in distress, but something far more chilling. The child's eyes are fixed and wide open, staring directly through the security lens with a predatory intensity. It is as if she is fully aware of the surveillance, tracking something hidden in the periphery of the frame. Her fixed, unnatural smile suggests she is communicating with a presence unseen by the camera, one that seems to be pulling strings behind her consciousness. This isn't just restlessness, it is a manifestation that feels ancient and deeply disturbing. Does this footage confirm an entity has possessed the girl? Or is there a rational explanation for this haunting stare? A simple dinner among friends is supposed to be a relaxing end to the day, a chance for laughter and conversation. The home was filled with a sense of ordinary warmth, as people prepared for their meal without a care in the world. But for those gathered that night, what was meant to be a calm, intimate gathering took a sharp, unsettling turn. The atmosphere shifted, and the room seemed to realize it was no longer as empty as it appeared. Take a look.
Hear it. Whoa, Tom's hidden. Whoa. Whoa. What the f***? I think I saw Let's go on camera. Have a look. Whoa. 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 Whoa, what was it? Shit. What's going on? I've just got out of the room. What are you I'm screaming about him, looking white in the face for him, got a mouth open at Halloween. What?
Sorry for lost a show.
What?
He was just broken the film. What was it? That one. It's 2 for now.
As one of the men approaches the table, an object on the mantel is launched forward, slamming onto the ground as if shoved by an invisible hand. The force is deliberate, aggressive, and entirely out of place in this quiet environment. This isn't physics. It is a violent intrusion from a presence that refused to let them dine in peace. It feels as if the entity was watching their every move, waiting for the perfect moment to break their composure and claim the space. Could this be the work of a haunting? Or is there something far more malevolent attached to the house? Tell us if you think this caught on camera was real.
Spirit!
What? Can't hit him.
A simple stroll through the national park was supposed to offer a quiet escape, a way to connect with the serenity of the outdoors. As she wandered along the trail with her dog leading the way, a sudden, inexplicable movement caught the corner of her vision. The stillness that followed was heavy, pressing in from the surrounding trees as if something had been waiting for that exact moment. What she documented in the woods is a deeply disturbing, chilling experience. Take a look.
What if somebody was chasing me down there? Like, oh, shit. Look.
An unnatural, towering void emerges from the tree line, tracking their footprints with a haunting, breathless silence. The dog continues walking, totally oblivious to the entity closing the gap just yards behind. It mimics a human walk, yet its distorted height and deep darkness defy every law of nature. It stands frozen between the trunks, a breathing statue radiating sheer hostility, transforming the forest into a deadly trap. Is this just a trespasser playing a sick, twisted game, or is a much darker entity lurking in these woods, watching our every move? What do you think?
What if somebody was chasing me down there? Like,
Exploring an abandoned school in the dead of night is a risk many would never consider. But for this individual, the pull of the unknown was too strong to resist. As he navigated the silent, hollowed-out corridors, a persistent, suffocating sensation began to take hold, the unmistakable feeling of being followed through the dark. He remained alert, turning his camera into the blackness to capture whatever might be watching from the corners. What he documented in the next few seconds is utterly terrifying. Take a look. A dark, shifting shape darts rapidly around the hallway corner, vanishing almost before the eyes can process its presence. He immediately runs toward the spot, desperate to confront the source of his fear, but finds only empty space and silence. This towering humanoid silhouette had been tracking his every move, haunting his steps through the dead school. He searches every inch of the immediate area, but there is no one left to find. It is a chilling encounter with an intruder that refuses to be cornered or explained. Do you believe he was truly alone in that school, or was he being hunted by something that simply didn't want to be caught on film this time? Living by yourself can feel like a sanctuary until the silence begins to fracture. For one man, the comfort of his home turned into a source of dread when unusual, rhythmic sounds started pulling his attention away from his daily routine. He realized he wasn't the only one moving through the house, and he instinctively grabbed his camera to document the unfolding nightmare. What he managed to catch on record is deeply unsettling and confirms he was far from alone. The bathroom door begins to swing open and shut with a violent intensity, as if something is thrashing against the frame to demand attention. When he approaches and pushes the door open to investigate the source of the disturbance, the room beyond is completely empty. There is no one there, yet the force was calculated and aggressive. This poltergeist manifestation is firmly anchored in the house, leaving behind no physical evidence of its origin. It appears to be an entity that has no intention of leaving its residence, claiming the space as its own. What you are witnessing is a direct hostile interaction from an unseen source. Do you believe this haunting is real, or is there another explanation? The quiet of an evening at home was shattered by something that defied logic, and the homeowner had no choice but to capture it as it unfolded. He was simply trying to watch television when the room around him began to betray his senses, with household objects shifting without a single hand touching them. He knew he had to document the event, even as dread crept into the space. What he recorded inside those walls is genuinely terrifying and leaves little room for comfort. Take a look. The house is consumed by a violent poltergeist disturbance. Light bulbs sway as if pulled by invisible threads, while dozens of small objects are launched across the room with focused, aggressive intent. The activity quickly moves to the kitchen, where a heavy chair is shoved forcefully out of place, sliding across the floor in a chilling display of kinetic power. Cabinets are torn open, and items from within are cast aside by a presence that clearly occupies the space alongside him. This is not a trick of physics. It is a manifestation of an intruder that has taken residence in the home, leaving the owner completely vulnerable. Tell us, do you think this was real, or are we witnessing a staged setup? Lying down after a demanding shift should offer complete relaxation, a moment to lose yourself in the routine of social media. He was resting in his bedroom, completely unaware that the space around him had already begun to turn hostile. When a sudden movement near his bedside table caught his attention, he assumed it was nothing more than the airflow from his fan. Desperate to prove himself right, he turned his phone camera toward the shadows. Watch closely.
All right. Can you knock that can down again? Like you did earlier? Ooh. Oh my God, okay. Okay.
As Joshua challenges the invisible presence to repeat the action, the aluminum can is violently launched directly toward him. This entity refuses to tolerate his skepticism, delivering a forceful and immediate response that confirms he is far from alone in the dark. The trajectory and speed of the object make a simple gust of air impossible, demonstrating a deliberate, physical manifestation that targets the observer. It feels like a direct warning from a hostile form that has claimed the bedroom as its domain. Could a hidden fishing line have generated this reaction? Or are we looking at a genuine paranormal event? Tell us your thoughts below.
Ooh.
An ordinary evening scrolling through a mobile device is supposed to be a mindless way to decompress after a long day. He was sitting comfortably on his sofa, completely engrossed in the videos streaming across his screen, unaware of the subtle shift in the air around him. The home environment felt completely secure, a peaceful bubble insulated from the outside world. But the sequence of events about to unfold would destroy that safety completely. Watch closely as the calm is violently shattered.
Oh my god. Holy hell. James, that cabinet door just flew open. I literally saw it. Holy shit.
You okay?
I watched it open and it flew. Ah,
Are you good? You wanna like leave?
I'm okay. It's just like, what?
You got me over here getting like
I literally like watched it.
The glass of water on the table slides abruptly on its own, crashing onto the surface while his hand remains inches away. The distance makes physical contact impossible, confirming an invisible disturbance pushed the container. The activity intensifies downstairs, where a cabinet door flies fully open in the dark kitchen. In the background, his dog barks frantically, reacting to a mass it can clearly perceive. A strange sound echoes right after the door swings. Could this sequence represent an active haunting, or is there a trick? Tell us what you think. The vast open fields of a rural plantation are typically a place of solitude, far removed from the watchful eyes of the city. A man was out managing his tractor during a quiet, misty day when a sudden, jarring movement caught his attention in the distance. He had been working alone, expecting nothing but the predictable patterns of the land, but the speed of what he saw was far from ordinary. Watch closely as the silence of the plantation is shattered by something impossible.
No mames. That shit's going off fast. That's not a person at all, bro. That shit disappeared. Wait, what the fuck? Nah, what the fuck is that? That's fucking...
A dark, blurred figure sprints across the heavy brush with a fluid, unnatural gait. While some might dismiss this as a common woodland creature, the speed and the two-legged rhythm are terrifyingly distinct, defying the physical capabilities of any human. It moves with a predatory focus that commands the space, covering an impossible distance in mere seconds before it vanishes into the tree line. The way it disappears is not a retreat into hiding, but a total dissolution into the environment. What could move with such terrifying purpose in broad daylight? Is this a lingering supernatural presence, or are we witnessing a creature that has been hiding in the shadows all along?
No mames.
The atmosphere inside the bar seemed perfectly tranquil, with patrons drifting through the background, but no staff actively attending the counter. This customer was simply waiting for his drink, completely unaware of the shift preparing to unfold around him. It appeared to be an ordinary evening in a quiet establishment until an unexplainable presence broke the calm. What the surveillance system captured in the subsequent moments is a startling sequence that left everyone present completely frozen in fear. In a split second, several glasses suddenly violently drop off the flat counter. They show zero signs of slipping beforehand, appearing instead to be purposefully thrown forward by a hidden presence. The chaotic crash completely blindsides the group nearby, injecting a freezing wave of panic into the scene while they try to comprehend the event. The camera signal drops immediately following the attack, leaving the startled witnesses standing over the wreckage. Is this a genuine case of poltergeist activity caught on tape, or is a hidden trick responsible? From the violent poltergeist in the abandoned home to the fixed gaze of a child, the red eyes in the woods, these incidents challenge our reality. Watch closely as the dark unfolds. Subscribe to Pale Playback so you never miss an upload. And trust us, what's on your screen right now is even harder to explain.